Hi guys, I'm back again with another video, but this time it's going to be the slimmer version of the first video that I uploaded about the Legion 7i. So this one, as I mentioned, is a slimmer brother. This is the new Legion Slim 7i. So as usual, this is going to be a very quick unboxing, and again, though you can see here, it's already open on this part, it's still sealed. So let's open this. To be honest, if you ask me, I'm more excited about the Legion 7i, but we cannot forget that the Legion 7i will actually have a new variant by end of this year. And by new variant, I mean a different panel. Okay, but before talking about that, let's first check what comes inside the box if you buy a Legion Slim 7i. Okay, same as that. Wow, that is surprisingly light. I did not expect that. First, of course, I think it's the same content of it's the same content with the last generation. If you bought a Legion Slim 7i, it comes with this, the unit itself, of course. Okay, protected with this styrofoam and the charger. Charger is lighter than the Legion 7i, of course, but this time I believe this charger should be a 230 watt charger. Am I correct? Let's check. Yes, still the same 230 watt charger. Okay, it's still the same. Same as last year. So if you have an existing Legion Slim 7i, actually even before last year, all of our Legion Slim 7i should have this 230 watt charger. Why? Why is it lower than the Legion 7i? Of course, it has a lesser powerful components. So while it has a latest generation 12th gen processor from Intel, the graphics found on this Legion Slim 7i is actually clocked lower than the usual GPUs that we're putting inside a Legion laptop. So for example, this Legion Slim 7i comes with RTX 3060. So actually, same as last year, when we introduced the Legion Slim 7i, it also comes with the RTX 3060, and it's clocked at 100 watts. So this year, it's going to be the same, RTX 3060 100 watts, but new to this year, new to this generation, it will have an option for an RTX 3070. But again, it's still max Q. So yeah, that's basically maybe you can consider a downside in purchasing this instead of the Legion 7i. But of course, the Legion Slim 7i is a whole different device. Basically, it's not really just for gaming. It's not really purely for gaming. It's actually intended for content creators or for those people who are on the go or who doesn't really require so much power on the device and may need a graphics card for their work or games, and maybe even for content creation. So that's the reason why there is a Legion Slim 7i. It's for those people who are on the go but requires a more powerful device than a mainstream laptop. Okay, let's open this. And again, it's really light. This is the Legion Slim 7i. You can see it's thinner than the Legion 7i that I unboxed earlier. Okay, still has all the ports complete at the back. And yes, finally, versus last generation, actually I'm using a Legion Slim 7i as my office unit. And one of the downside of that generation or of that unit is actually doesn't have a full-size HDMI port. I know it is actually thick enough to house that HDMI port, but we end up didn't putting that. But this generation, yes, it's here, the full-size HDMI port, and it has a Thunderbolt 4 port here. One Type-C port is Thunderbolt 4, and for those people who are really, again, I told you, this is meant for content creators or for those people who are editing videos, editing photos. See here, this is a full-size SD card. So you can actually plug in the SD card straight from your camera to edit photos and videos in this device. And again, the color, it's not as similar as the Legion 7i. Let me put the Legion 7i in the frame so you can see. Is it the same color? I think it's the Legion Slim 7i is a bit or a tad darker than the Legion 7i. Let me put that in frame so you can see. Not sure though if the color will actually show itself here. Okay, I think yeah, you can see it in the video. This is the Legion Slim 7i. It's a tad darker than the Legion 7i. Okay, so that's the main difference. And of course the weight. The weight is actually, it's lighter definitely than the Legion 7i, but I noticed that it is heavier than last generation, a bit heavier, but I believe it still maintains that thinner profile. It's the same thickness as last year's Legion Slim 7i, and again same. It almost it's basically the same edges of the Legion 7i. It has this flat, polished metal edges. And since this is a Legion 7 series, same with the Legion 7i, it's made up of 100% aluminum. So it is really very premium. And right off the bat, you can already see a lot of fingerprints. That's something that you cannot avoid on an anodized finish metal laptop. Not just for Legion. Okay, let's open it up. But again, same with the Legion 7i, I will not put this on. Okay, so this is the Legion Slim 7i. Okay, this Legion Slim 7i is going to have, again as I've mentioned, an i7 H processor, 12th generation of course, DDR5 memory. That's a default for all the Legion devices in the Philippines, by the way, not just on the 7 series, but for all Legion laptops. Gen 4 SSDs also. All of the storage that you'll find on a Legion laptop this year is a default Gen 4 SSD. So we're not cutting corners in terms of storage. But maybe one thing that you might have a concern on is the memory. The Legion Slim 7 this year will have an 8 gig onboard memory, DDR5. So for those people who want to have up to 32 gigs of RAM, I'm very sorry, but you cannot do that. So the onboard default for all Legion Slim 7i will be 8 gig onboard, and another slot will be available for you to put your own, maybe 16 gig. As we speak, we only tested 16 gig. Maybe you have a 32 gig stick there, maybe you can try it, but right now we can confirm that it can go up to 24 gig. That's the 8 gig onboard plus another 16 gig on the free slot. So I think that's the downside of this generation, but overall it's very worth it if you're going to upgrade from a later generation Legion Slim 7i. And another key thing that we changed on this year's Legion Slim 7i, the display. The display of the Legion Slim 7i is now a 16-inch WQXGA display, basically the same with the Legion 7i. So last year's Legion Slim 7i is actually outdated when it comes to the panel technology. While the Legion 7i last year already has that 16-inch display, 16:10 aspect ratio, even the Legion 5i Pro or Legion 5 Pro has that same panel. The Legion Slim 7 or Legion Slim 7i retained the 15.6-inch QHD or Full HD panel option. But this year, yes, we heard you. We will now introduce this 16-inch, 16:10 aspect ratio. And to be honest, if you'll ask me, I prefer the Legion Slim 7i because I use this device as my work or office unit. So I think you already know that all Legion devices are actually very very powerful enough to game, and at the same time, it is very minimal that you can actually bring it in a meeting or in school, so you can use it for both lifestyle. So this Legion Slim 7i is the perfect balance between the two lifestyles that you have, because you can play on this. Of course, maybe you need to tinker with a lot of settings with your AAA games to come up with the maybe 165 frame rates or 144, 165. But at the same time, it's very mobile, it's very light compared to other Legion laptops. And of course, this premium build, it is made up of aluminum chassis. So, that's the Legion Slim 7i. And of course, as I mentioned, I'm going to take more videos about key features that we changed on this generation versus the last generation, and maybe even compare this with its bigger and chunkier brother, the Legion 7i. So watch out for those videos.